you hit record?
Are you going?
It should say REC at the top of the screen. Does it? If it doesn't, it, REC.
I don't see it.
Try it again. Now does it?
Oh, yeah.
REC.
Yeah, that's recording.
You got both of yours now.
Nice.
Hi, welcome.
Love to be here.
Good, welcome. Appreciate you telling us about your experience with New Directions.
Well, I actually sought you guys out. I had gone through many years ago, and I was actually missing the connection. And it was kind of twofold, because it was something about helping and working with others also as healing for myself. And I also feel like that's a way to give back to my community and the human race, basically.
Cool, good. So tell us a little about what you were like before. What brought you here?
I was an emotional wreck. I didn't handle things very well. I had some serious rage and anger issues. And even though I know a part of my past, I wasn't really aware of how deeply it affected me, to where on so many phases of my life and just in communicating, I wasn't able to really communicate with others when emotions were more involved. Everything's easy in life when it's cool. It's when things are turbulent. Finding the calm of the storm, basically, to speak of how to still be able to function and be a human being. Maybe a classic example would be today at breakfast. I was not happy with my waitress at all.
Okay.
I mean, and she was failing in her job of what it's supposed to do, and I can think back to a time when I would have been a real asshole, really. I would have, not taken the time to just explain to her why I was upset, and in a way that she could hear me. Because sometimes I've also learned that I think that I'm communicating, but there's so much rage behind what I'm saying that people shut down, and all they're reacting to is probably my physical, and she came by, and I was really getting pissed, and I knew that, and I was like, I need to say something. And so she came by, and she's like, is there anything else I can do? And I said, you never did get my coffee. I've been sitting here forever for that. I had asked for this sauce for you to bring. By the time you brought it to me, I had a little piece of my meal left. I said, I know that you're overwhelmed right now. I said, but that's what those other girls are supposed to be for. You really should have use them. That's what they're here for. When you're swamped like you are, because it was packed. And she didn't take offense to that. It was really cool. She responded like, wow, I'm sorry. And I said, I understand that you're overwhelmed. I said, but that's what they're here for. They're to help you and back you up when you can't get to me right away. She came back and gave me 20% off on my meal, which I even told her at the time I wasn't asking for that. And she said, no, I appreciate the fact that you like the way you handle it. So I would say that that's some stuff that I've really sort of learned here, is how, because I grew up not, the anger was not an okay feeling to have. That it was inappropriate to be angry at all. So how do you express yourself when you are angry if you've been basically raised to show that it's not okay, and that the only kind of anger is rage? So that's been real beneficial in my life.
So, you saying it nicely to her and respectfully to her, did that help you feel better?
Totally, because I was able to get across what was upsetting me.
Yeah.
And at the same time, hopefully, the next time around, she'll actually have learned from the experience, as opposed to walking away just thinking that I'm some real crazy nut.
Wouldn't it have felt better to just vent all over and yell at her and all that? Or?
Yeah, at the moment. But in the end, I know that at some point, driving in my car hours later or an hour later, I'm going to feel like shit. I'm not going to be okay with what I did, and I'm going to feel bad because, honestly, it was AIDS. Why am I taking that much? So that's the other thing I probably learned in here is there's something way deeper going on when I get that angry about something. So it takes me sometimes to go, okay, what's really bothering you? And then look at the focus. And I can tell you, I've been through a lot of emotional stuff right now, and so I'm a prime candidate looking to vent on somebody. I've been through a lot of emotional stress in the last couple of months, and so.
Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Just been going through a lot of pain. I've lost what are basically like children to me. I've raised these animals, and it's been very tough. And I've probably wept more than I ever have in my life. Because it's not like one died, it's not like they all die at the same time. I have very ill dogs. And then sometimes I have to make the decision to put one down because it's just, they're just in pain. So.
And didn't you have to put one down yourself?
Yes.
That must have been horrible.
It was. So I've got real life issues right now that that I'm dealing with, and actually I'm gonna have to say for 2 months it's been pretty good. I don't think I've really taken it out on anybody. I've had a few minor moments, you know, where I've been pretty intense about my feelings, and yet, because I'm also started a business, got a lot of responsibilities going on, and I'm trying to nurse these dogs, and I've just got a lot of stuff going on, and these people were failing in their job and doing stuff that they needed to do for me at my store, and before I would have just ripped them open. And instead, I was very precise about what I was angry about and what I was upset about and where they failed and what they said they were going to do. So I was very focused. I think if anything, this has helped me to be very focused about what I want to say. And I'm not responsible for how somebody takes it, as long as my intentions are not to just shred you. And people still got upset, and I realized, no, that's not my problem, because I told you the truth about what you failed here, and you made me promises, and 2 months later you haven't done it. And I have a business to run, so.
It sounds like what you're doing is differentiating the behavior from the person. I don't like that you did this, but it doesn't mean that you're a bad person and tear you
Or
up.
that I'm just gonna throw up on you, just everything that's emotionally that's going on with me, it's just all gonna get dumped on you. Thank you. So, yeah, it's given me a way to sort of step back, be aware of my surroundings, be aware of what's actually going on with me. I'm not out of touch with that. And even if I am, it's very brief before someone goes, whoa, remember what's going on right now? Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, I got a lot of crap going on right now, and so I am a lit fuse, and yet I'm not blowing up. I'm not flipping out. I'm not, and man, I've wrecked relationships over that stuff. I've destroyed friendships over that stuff. So.
I'm hearing a lot of awareness of yourself. You seem to know yourself very well.
Yes. Well, I'm getting to know myself very well. I'm having a better relationship all the time.
And that puts you more in control. That's better for you?
Yeah, I would say it's funny because words like that before I would have that's a freeze for me. Like, don't ever use the word control.
Yeah.
But now, there's a place that I need control sometimes in my life. I need to be in control of a situation. I need to be able to take charge of a situation, and that's okay. Another thing. I came here for this interview. I was invited because I have friends that are vets, and when you had first told me about this, I actually was able to reinitiate a conversation with a friend of mine that's been destroyed for about 2 years. That's been, really in a bad place for about 2 years. And even though I was afraid, because this guy can really just snap, and he's, sometimes he's drinking, sometimes he's drugging, and he's angry at everybody in the world, and he's never gotten over Nam. He still blames, you know, he's just horrible. And he actually called me out of the blue, and I was not going to talk to him. The last time he actually threatened me. He threatened me to kill me. But I just said, you know what, I just been through a session where I saw some vets go through, I saw a vet go through, and I've seen some amazing progress with someone who felt like this was the best thing that ever happened for them, and I really want to suggest that if and when you're ready, that I've found a place for you to deal with some of your issues. And I was surprised to hear him say that he was open to it. Yeah, I was really surprised. So maybe that's the other blessing that I've gotten out of this as a whole, is that I really am able to communicate in a way that that is meaningful to others, that I really can touch people, and so I want to keep doing that.
And you're a vet yourself, correct?
Yeah, but I never went through any of the things that these guys went through. I was too young, you know? But I've grown up with it my whole life, with them. It's kind of crazy.
What branch were you in?
Navy,
How long?
3 years.
Where were you stationed?
Great Lakes and the USS Saratoga, aircraft carrier, CV-60. And, yeah.
Don't remember it as a horrible experience or really bad things happened to you?
No, but it wasn't a place for me. I'm not a military boy. I was never going to fit into Uncle Sam's picture.
Okay. Okay. Anything else you want to say to people that maybe don't know much about this? What would you recommend, or what do you suggest?
Start here is the best place to start. If you've tried, especially if you've tried a lot of other things, you don't need anything else. Start here.
What's the difference? Why?
Well, because I've been through AA and NA, and I definitely believe in those programs are really good for people on certain levels, but for people like myself, I needed more than just going in a room and talking about my problems. Because I had some way deeper issues, and NA and AA are not geared for that type of, they're more on a head level, a spiritual level, and that's all good, but like there's some serious emotional damaged people out there, and I've been around and gone through these rooms long enough. I've seen the people like myself, with all the rage and anger, that this has made a huge difference in their lives. Being able to come here and dig deeper than they're actually allowed to. You're allowed to, like some people are you can't do the things that go on in here in an AA meeting. You'd scare the newcomers, okay? Like they just like, I gotta handle that. It's intense, but it's well worth the price.
Is it tense like in your face, or is it intense?
I think it's all of that. Because the experience isn't even always necessarily yours at the time. You know, sometimes it's something you're observing happening, and it brings something up for you that you were completely unaware of. And you're like, whoa, why is that affecting me? So it's not even you going through the whatever's going on at the moment. You could just be the third person observing, and it's still going to touch you. I mean, all I know is when I got done going through this, the biggest thing is I knew what my issues were for the first time in my life, and that's never changed. That's never changed, and they were basic, and there's only about 3 of them, and it wasn't this multitude of problems that I had. I had a basic 3 principles for myself. I had abandonment issues, I had rage and anger issues, and those 2 even alone make up most of what my problems are. So, you know, and I didn't know that walking in here. I thought that I was unfixable. So, I know that's not true.
You're not.
No.
Very good. Very good. Thank you for your time. We very much appreciate it.
Love to be here.
Your involvement is very welcome with everybody.
Thank you. I'm down.